Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. I'm Doug, and today we're going to make some delicious crinkle lemon cookies. Stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back. So yes, we're going to make some delicious crinkle lemon cookies. Now I actually got this recipe from one of our church family. Her name is Kim, and we had our dinners for 10 recently, and she made these delicious crinkle lemon cookies. And I was like, oh, can I have your recipe and put it on my YouTube channel? And she was like, yeah, sure. So she sent me the recipe, so I'm gonna follow her recipe to a T. We're gonna see how they come out. This is the first time I'm making it, so I'm making it with you guys. And hopefully it's gonna turn out just as well as hers, because hers was so good. Okay, so let's go through the ingredients to make our delicious cookies today. All right, first of all, you're gonna need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 stick of butter, or that's also a 1/2 cup of butter. Make sure that it's softened, and that's unsalted butter. You're going to need 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 egg, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. I'm probably going to add a little extra. Kim added a little extra to hers. So let's just do like a 1.5 teaspoons maybe. We'll do that, of lemon zest. You're gonna need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Plus, we're going to use powdered sugar. This is a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, and Kim's secret is adding a pinch of cinnamon. So I'm following her recipe to a T, and I cannot wait to try these cookies. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is we are going to get our lemon here, and we're gonna be using the zest first. So I have my zester here. I just love this zester, it is so good. And we're gonna start getting our lemon zest. Remember, we want 1.5 teaspoons of lemon zest. And it is a rainy day here again in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I can't believe all the rain we had in May. And there was also some bad weather not so far from us. There was some it wasn't a tornado, but it was really heavy winds. People's trees came down, and just a lot of things got damaged. Not good. We were lucky, thank God, that nothing happened here. We did have one year, it was a few years ago, when we had a tree come down on the front, and that was not fun. So, yeah, so it's thundering right now, so if you hear anything, or if I have to run into our little tornado room during our shoot, yeah, anyway, it's our tornado room is basically, in Texas, what you gotta do is you gotta find a room in your house that is centrally located, like an area. Usually people go under the stairs if they have a 2-story, or a bathroom, and you go into the bathtub. We have a half bath. That's the room that's in the middle of our house. That it's probably the best room to do, but they should really build storm shelters in homes, new homes, in Texas. Like all new homes should be built with safe rooms. And I mean, you can have it done, but I think it should automatically be done, because it's crazy. Anyway, I got my lemon zest here. That looks like approximately a little bit more than 1.5 teaspoons, but that's okay. I'm gonna get my lemon here, cut it in half, and I'm gonna use my lemon squeezer. This is another tool that I just love. Lemon squeezer. It is so good. Remember, we need one tablespoon. Okay, so we're back and we're gonna start to cream out. My oven is preheated. Remember to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Plus, you're going to need your cookie sheets. I use a Silpat. You can also use parchment paper, and you'll be needing that. So here's our butter, and so we have our sugar. So we're gonna first cream our butter and sugar. Is to get a towel and put it over your blender, so then this way nothing goes flying out. Okay, that's just a little tip. We're going to scrape down the sides. So we're going to cream our butter and our sugar until it's light and fluffy, and then we're going to start to add all our other ingredients. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add our wet ingredients. So that is the egg, the lemon juice, and the lemon zest. So here's our egg. So our lemon juice. And then our zest. Smells so lemony. And did you notice I'm wearing a yellow shirt? Because it's lemon cookies. And you want to scrape the sides. I just love the way that lemon smells. And lemon cookies are the best cookies to make in spring and summertime. Look at the rain, y'all. Really coming down. So this is a great day to make those lemon cookies to brighten up our rainy day. Okay, so we got our egg there. Now we're gonna start to add our flour. Before we do that, we have to add our vanilla. I almost forgot our vanilla. How can I forget that of vanilla? So that's a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Do that quick mix. Okay, nice. Now in my dry ingredients, I'm going to add my salt. This is 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to add my 1/4 teaspoon of good baking powder. Make sure it's fresh. And then we're just doing 1/8 of the baking powder. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just mix that in here with the flour. And then we're going to start adding it to our wet. And I just like doing just a little bit at a time, so I'm going to do about 3 large tablespoons. Get my kitchen towel so things don't go flying. I was watching a food show with Carney Wilson and David Archuleta, and they were making brownies, and when she turned on the blender, I don't know if it was, I think it was the flour, it started going all over the place, and they were laughing and everything, but I thought to myself, use a towel. I wanted to reach out to Carney Wilson and say, use a towel, it'll help. I forgot to use my towel. But it didn't go all over the place, so. All right, so we're just gonna mix this. We don't wanna over mix it. I think that looks good. So what it says to do, we're gonna get her dash of cinnamon. So just add a little dash. Just mix that in. Okay, it's really raining outside, by the way. Getting a little nervous. Anyway, it says get a ball, and you're gonna roll it in the powdered sugar. And then we're gonna put it on our silpat. I have a little scoop here. I'm just gonna use a little scoop just so that they're approximately the same size. The weather's making me nervous because it's very dark outside. That's the one thing about Texas weather. You never know what it's gonna do. And it makes me very nervous. I've been living in Texas for 43 years, something like that. And I'm still not used to it. All right, so I'm rolling my cookies. I'm gonna continue doing that. We're putting on silpat, and then we're going to place it in the oven. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're gonna place them in the oven. They're gonna bake at 350 degrees for 9 to 11 minutes. You wanna do it until the bottom is slightly brown, and then you have to let it rest. Let it rest for at least 3 to 5 minutes on the cooking sheet when you take it out, and then transfer it to a cooling rack. Let it cool. We're gonna do all that. And when we come back, we're gonna have our taste test, so stay tuned. Okay, so they're out of the oven, and I'm gonna let them sit for about 3 minutes. But I made a mistake. I was supposed to, after step 4, which is after making the dough and placing them on the tray, you're supposed to put them in the refrigerator for 10 minutes to cool. And I'm not sure exactly why. The only thing I could think of is that that's probably would make it more crinkly, like broken up a little bit. So, because looking at mine, I could see the lines, the little crinkles, but it's not a lot. And so I'll show you that later. So probably if I would have done that step, that's probably what would have happened. But we'll give it a taste test and we'll see how they taste, because that's the most important part. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer my cookies, and the way I like to do it is with a spatula. This is such an old spatula, but it's my favorite spatula. I don't want to get rid of it because I just love the way this is. It's thin and it's metal, but yet it just does the trick, you know. But I like to use a fork on the other side, and I just place it underneath the cookie and then brush it off with the fork. So I find it works really well. These look really good, but once again, they could be a little bit more crinkly on top, and I think that's probably from not putting them in the refrigerator before I put it in the oven. But like I said, it's the taste that counts, right? But they still look like a crinkle cookie. It's not as crinkly. Let's look at the cookie right here and examine what it should look like. So as you can see, it does have some crinkles in it, but if I would have put it in the refrigerator 10 minutes before I put it in the oven, I think it would have been more crinkly. So that's a lesson learned there. The bottom is slightly brown. That's what you want. That's a good color. You don't want it darker than that. And it has nice firmness. And so that is what your cookie should look like, maybe a little bit more crinkly. Okay, so we're back and we're ready for our taste test. It is thundering outside, the weather's a little crazy today. I'm gonna give Kim's cookie a good taste test. Let's see. First of all, let's look at the cookie. Like I said before, could be more crinkly looking. That's probably because I didn't put it in the refrigerator 10 minutes before I put it in the oven. So if you want it to be all crinkly looking, make sure you put it in the refrigerator for 10 minutes before you put it in the oven. Feels about the same. Taste is really good. Lemony flavor. I think Kim's cookies were a little bit more lemony. So she had on the instructions 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons of lemon zest. I did 1.5. So probably if I would have done 2 teaspoons, it'd probably be a little bit more like hers, because hers was very lemony. The texture's the same. It's a soft cookie, pretty cookie. I think it turned out great. Make sure that you put it in the refrigerator 10 minutes before for that crinkle look. Other than that, I think it's really, really awesome. Thank you, Kim, for your recipe. I hope everybody tries it and enjoys it like I'm enjoying them today. And thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas today. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye.